Hello YouTube, B3 here, back another kicking graphic novel trade review. Sorry I look wet, it's because I am wet. I was just at the pool and at the beach. And I came back to do a little reading. Today we have the final chapter of this book, Kong of Skull Island Volume 3. Yeah, this is the last volume for Kong of Skull Island. We've already reviewed the first two, so go check them out. I'll give you a read-up from the back here. For the fate of Skull Island. There are some who would see the Kong as monsters, beasts willing to unleash the anger they have within. When a coup is formed to take Iwata from power and show the Tagu and Atu people the dangers of the Kong, the island is thrown into chaos. From James Amus and Carlos Magno comes the authorized conclusion to the origin of Kong. So this is like, this is now the official Kong origin for just Kong in general. So that's good. There's a separate origin for the MonsterVerse Kong, the Kong Skull Island movie Kong, and I've already reviewed that book also, so check it out. Doing a lot of Kong reviews. But it's a good book. I really like the art. It's very unique feeling art, and I like the portrayal of the natives. It's not racist or stereotypical in any way. They have a good flushed out culture. And there are two different cultures, actually, because there are two different tribes that were not friendly to each other, and then their island, there was a big eruption. They had to sail to a new island, and the island they sailed to had a bunch of dinosaurs on it, Skull Island. And so they have to kind of get past their differences to work together to survive, because there's so few of them left. And the thing I like about the dinosaurs is they aren't actual dinosaurs. They look like dinosaurs, but they're also drawn kind of differently. So it looks like dinosaurs that have continued to evolve. So they aren't just dinosaurs that didn't evolve at all for 65 million years, which doesn't make sense. They have evolved some, and gotten smarter, too. And the Kong, which another thing that never made sense about Kong to me was how the hell did Kong evolve? Because it didn't make any biological sense. Kong isn't from Skull Island. Kong is from the natives' original island. They actually bred these Kong to be gigantic and domesticated. So it makes more sense. Really nice, really well thought out mythology of these books. But in this one, some of the people are trying to build a citadel to defend themselves against the demons, aka the dinosaurs. And the queen isn't about that. She's like, we have Kong, we have a wall, why do we need this citadel? Why do we need to put our own people in danger? There's actually no real right or wrong when it comes to the citadel, because the Kong, they are animals. And they do a good job of keeping the people safe, but, I mean, if you're going to live on an island full of monsters, you got to learn how to fight them at the same time, So I think personally the Citadel was a good idea, but they should have relied on the Citadel and the Kong, then they would have been the safest. But the argument is just the Citadel or just the Kong. One side wants just the Kong to protect them, one side wants just the Citadel. So the Citadel people steal the research from the Kong fighting pits, because they used to have Kong fighting pits on their old island, and they would make the Kong more aggressive with these incense so they would fight each other. Well, they make a super version of this incense that makes the Kong go absolutely batshit crazy, so that the Kong will attack their own people. It's a big conspiracy. So the Kong will attack their own people, and then they'll be like, oh, look how dangerous the Kong were this whole time, even though they did it. Fucking Mr. Oz shit, you know what I'm saying, from Superman? I already reviewed that book recently too. I'll just back to check it out. But yeah, so they do that. But the incense also drives every single dinosaur monster on the island crazy. So they're all killing everything. And the princess was kidnapped to be sacrificed to the feral Kong beyond the wall. And there's this feral Kong, which is actually the mother of the baby Kong in this book, and I believe the baby Kong in this book is supposed to be the Kong Kong, but I'm not totally sure. The Kong Kong could be an even further descendant down, the one that abducts Fay Ray. And I can make a good case for this being that Kong. One, it's the youngest, it's the only baby Kong. Two, it was the protector of a white-haired girl, because she was like traumatized and her hair all turned white. So Kong, seeing Andera with her golden hair, could have associated that with the white-haired girl, right? And so he would have seen Andero as her and wanted to protect her. So I think this Kong is the Kong from that, even though it's not explicitly stated anywhere. But I think I've made a good case for it. I think I've made a good case for it. I think that's why they made this. They gave this girl white hair, the princess. But the princess was taken by the feral Kong beyond the wall, and there are these things called the Death Walkers, which are basically like hairy velociraptors. And in the last volume, the Death Walkers lost their god, so to speak. There was this giant two-headed T-Rex thing, and one of the Kongs killed it. And so the Deathstalkers, while really intelligent, kind of like the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park, need a god to follow, according to this book. So they started following the Kong beyond the wall. So there's a feral Kong out there with a fucking army of Velociraptors, which is pretty dope. But he kidnaps her, and then the young Kong fights it to get her back, and the mom is going on like a spree trying to get her kid back with the little Kong, and the instance thing just really backfires. And it gets most of the conspirators killed. And then in the end, she takes the conspirators back for trial, and but she's like, I won't judge them because they stole my daughter, and I can't be impartial to it. I know they're guilty, but I'm going to let the people decide their fates. Which was fine. But the people decided to give them mercy, and to basically just put them under house arrest. They aren't allowed to leave, like, the main part of the city. That was the only consequence. But the Kong went batshit crazy, right? Because of the incense. And even though people know the Kong went crazy because of these people in the incense, the people get off basically scot-free, and every single Kong gets banished into the interior of the island, never to be seen again. But the white-haired princess is crowned queen because she has grown up with both these people, and she understands and respects both people's traditions, so she's the only one that can really unite the people. Which she seems to do, actually. It's implied that she does indeed unite them at the end of the book, but she also had a good relationship with the Kong. So the last thing written in this book, the last narration is, and with her influence, Kivani ensured Kong would be treated, feared, and protected like a god. So because of that Queen's influence, that's why they came to see Kong as gods eventually down the line, generations later. But yeah, it was a good book. I think I like the other volumes better, but this is still a really good book. Kong of Skull Island, Volume 3. James Amos, Carlos Magno, Jeremy Lawson. Great art, good writing. I mean, this is really creative for a Kong book. Most Kong stuff, I'm going to be honest with you, most Kong-like movies and stuff actually suck. Most Kong stuff actually sucks. But Kong of Skull Island is an excellent comic run. There's even a one-shot, Kong Gods of Skull Island, that I reviewed a single issue of in my comic book collection updates. So if you want to see me review single issues of books, watch my comic book haul videos on my B3 Productions channel, which is my second channel. But I mean, I really loved it. The art is good and consistent. It's just, it really helps the mythology make more sense. And I like that. This was definitely very well thought out. It wasn't just thrown together to give Kong an origin and mooch off of a well-known franchise. It was obviously well thought out. And I'm happy for that. So thank you, Boom Studios. Boom has been doing a lot of good work lately. If you haven't read their Power Ranger books, you are fucking missing out, because they're like my favorite things in comics right now. The Boom Studios Power Ranger books. Check them out. I haven't read Go-Go yet, but I'm waiting for the trades to come out for it. They'll probably be out by the time this video goes up. I don't know. But, yeah, so that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. You can check out our Volumes 1 and 2 reviews if you haven't already. Kong of Skull Island, an excellent comic book. Definitely check it out. It's a great run. I love it. So that's it. Thank you all once again, and I'll see you all later.